Yay! I do a video blog every week, Dave.
Oh yeah, I do know.
Dave King, number 31 here.
Yeah. Usually number 13, so I was upside down.
5 years he was Robert. Me and Dave rode schoolboy motocross when we were kids.
Indeed,
So we've known each other 40 years. So I've known Dave longer than anybody in stock cars.
Good rider, this boy. Bloody good scrambler.
We enjoyed it, didn't we, Dave?
Yeah, we had good fun.
So Dave and his family are here for Sunday lunch with us. So nice to see you. Thank you for coming.
Well, what a place you've got, man. Jeez, I'm absolutely gobsmacked. It's wonderful.
Good, thank you for coming.
Well done, you. Buy Coventry Stadium, please.
Thanks. I did have a chat with Dave after dinner, and they were talking about Coventry, and the story is, I've never said this story in public before, but the story from our family business is my dad had a hotel through the 80s and 90s, and then my dad sold the hotel in 99, and the stadium was actually for sale at the time, and he told me to go and speak to Martin Ochiltree, and I went and spoke to Martin about it, and we made him an offer. The offer was accepted. And then he would give us the books and give us the turnovers and the profits and the finances of the business. And me and my dad and met Martin and Mr. Ochiltree in Coventry Hill Hotel, not Coventry Hill Hotel, Coventry Triangle, Coventry Walsgrove Triangle, whatever it was, Coventry Hilton. One afternoon, and we went through all the details of the stadium. And to be honest, it just wasn't a good business. It was like 30 speedways a year and 8 stock cars a year. Just as a business, it wasn't for us, and it wasn't the right thing for us. It was before I was interested in stock cars, and but my dad had been rode for speedway for Coventry through the 70s, so it was a big passion of us. But me and Dad were both born in Brandon, so Dad was born opposite the stadium. I was born at the back of the stadium, so it's our family. We've been there all our lives. So yeah, Dad was very interested at the time, but looking at it from a business point of view, it wasn't good. So we backed out, and our offer was accepted, but we backed out. And we built the golf course where we are now. So we're golf and fishing, and that's my slight story. So we nearly bought it. So back to the present. Council meeting tonight, and they're going to talk about the feasibility of what they can do with the stadium. So see how that goes, and report back tomorrow.
Second motion, Madam Mayor, and reserve my right to speak.
I call on Councillor Gillius to speak his motion.
Madam Mayor, some people are on the pitch. They think it's all over. It is now. That was the commentary spoken by Kenneth Wolstenholme and heard by me as a 12-year-old at that iconic moment when Jeff Hurst scored that 4th goal in the dying seconds and England won the World Cup in 1966. In addition, the stadium hosted many other forms of motorsport, including midget cars, sidecars, quad bikes, banger racing, Formula 2 stock cars, mini stocks and go-karts. For more than 50 years, the stadium was run impeccably by promoter Charles Ochiltree MBE and his family, regarded as the leading promotion in the UK. But following his death, the stadium was sold in 2003 and subsequently sold again to the property developer, who took over full responsibility for the stadium at the end of the 2016 season, without the sports having an option to purchase and retain the sporting facility. The stadium was universally considered within stock car racing as the Wembley of the sport, which is why it drew the highest number of driver entrants and the biggest crowds.
However, I am a huge fan of heritage and I am a huge fan of community. Now, what this is not to suggest is that we should definitely go ahead and do something. What it is suggested that we should explore what it is possible that can be done. I think there is sufficient groundswell of a public opinion out there to suggest this might be worth looking at for us to at least seriously consider whether it is a possibility. There will be a more meaningful debate once that information is back, but I think we should look into seeing whether this is a possibility.
I totally support Tony and people that are trying to keep this facility available to people, because what we know is that once it's built on, it will never be rebuilt on again. And there are so short of situations where these facilities are functioning. We must look at ours, get something suitable that fulfills the requirement of leisure and well-being, and hopefully we've got a good connection between us and Coventry after that. But don't just house it. That's all I have to say.
Thank you very much, Councillor. I shall now put the, one more speaker before Tony comes back.
Just in the spirit of very positive cross-political cooperation, Councillor Gillis, I'd love to work with you to help brand the stadium. And I've got a lot of work and experience and investments behind the stadium, so I'd be very happy to sit with you for a cup of coffee and see what I could do with my contacts.
Councillor Gillies.
Thank you very much, Councillor Moran, for that offer. Fantastic. Could just say that the council and its members are of course the custodians of our borough's history and sporting heritage, particularly those sports and venues that have provided leisure and well-being for generations to partake, enjoy and support. The sports, as already stated, cross the local and wider communities. They cross counties and continents. There are no barriers. Friendships are created in those sporting communities that last for a lifetime. The well-being created can't be found or measured in any document or policy statement, because it's here, deep in your hearts and minds, and it is carried with us on our journey through life. Members, please support this motion.
Thank you, Councillor. On that basis, we will now put the motion to the vote. Those in favour, please show. Those against, please show. The motion is carried.
So the council have passed a motion to try and get the stadium back into use. So all that means is they're looking at all avenues really to see if it's possible to bring it back into use. But of course it's still owned by the developers. That's the major stumbling block. It doesn't mean we can just go back in there and do it, because it's not owned by anybody in particular apart from the developer that lives in Monaco, Mr. Downer. So I have another meeting tonight. We have now the council meeting was last night. We're going to have another committee meeting tonight at the Rosicombe, which is just a mile away from the stadium, and discuss what options there are going to be. Obviously, a compulsory purchase order would be perfect, but whether the council will do that and whether they're going to raise the money to do that is a different matter. So it's all right saying they'd like to do it. It doesn't mean so it's going to happen, but wait and see. Let's see what we can do. It's all fantastic steps in the right direction, so it's really, really exciting. They turned down the application for houses, and now the Borough Council have agreed that it would be nice to keep the heritage of the stadium. So we're looking at every avenue that's possible. So just keep our fingers crossed and keep trying. We'll see how it goes tonight. Rosicombe used to be more local, this place, when I grew up. I grew up in Wolfston. All right, see how it goes. So the situation is the councillors of Rugby Borough Council, Conservative Council, have agreed to put a motion in to try and look at saving the stadium, or what they can do to reuse the stadium. But it's still owned by the developers. So the developers have been turned down for 127 houses, and they are appealing. The appeal could be, will be at least 6 months. It could be 12 months, could be 18 months. So whether they could actually, they can do them, they can still review it before then, but they probably can't make a decision until after the appeal. So it's possible that after the appeal, and they lose the appeal, that they could then, or before or after, they could force a compulsory purchase order. But the valuation is dependent on the appeal. So they can't really enforce a CPO before the appeal, because there's no valuation. Because before the appeal, it's still worth the value of the 127 houses. After the appeal, if they were to win, then it increases the value. If they were to lose the appeal, it devalues the value of the stadium down to agricultural land. 27 acres, 10 grand an acre, £270,000 tops. If they get the appeal, if they win the appeal, 127 houses, 10 million, you know? That's what they're going to make out of it. It's going to be, what, 25, 30 million pound turnover. So it's difficult to say this situation at this time, how it's going to go. But at least the council are on our side. We've been fighting for 6 years to get to this stage. the housing, through our objections, the housing has been turned down. The councillors are now on our side as well. So that is our next step, that they're on our side and they're going to help us see what else can be done. It's a long haul. It's a long haul. It really is. Simple as that. Between now and then, there's going to be government change as well, and possibly a council change. So next year could go Labour. As it happens, the Labour councillor, who's likely to be leader of the council next year, is also on our side as well. So that's a good thing as well. So it's all looking good, but it's a long haul. It's a long haul. So don't expect to fix this stuff next year, because it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. It's going to be a couple of years away, maybe, minimum. But we're going to keep going. We've been going on this for 6 years now. 2016 it closed. It's nearly 2023. So we're just going to keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. But it's looking good. It's looking good long term. We're hoping anyway. Worth fighting for. We'll keep going. Christmas next week.